Welcome back, it's the GameChanger. So this tutorial I believe will be a very, very helpful tutorial. I think one of the most difficult haircuts in the barber industry is tapering a fro. The reason why a taper is a transition from light to dark. The transition spot is that mid piece where the light and the dark connects. Now, typically you want that to be a seamless transition. So let me say that creating a difficult transition can be creating a smooth transition can be very difficult. So in this video, I'll definitely touch on that quite a bit. I'm very excited. My guy here wants a fro. He wants about a 3.5 on top. He has a great texture of hair, very thick, very dense, especially on the sides. It's a little thinner on the top. And I believe we'll talk about ways to work around it to give it a nice fuller look. But yeah, first things first, you want to pick it out. Now, if your client hasn't picked their hair out in a while, if their hair is kind of dry and not moisturized, what you want to do is spray water on it. Water loosens up those curls, makes it easier to work with, and it also causes less tension or pulling on the scalp, which in turn doesn't irritate the client or hurt their scalp, especially if they're tender-headed. So after that, what we do after we calm the hair down, what we do after that, take the 3, open. This is my magic clip here. And I just go all the way around and I peel that thing back. Oh, it's no better look. Sometimes I like to challenge myself to see if I can get it all off in one smooth motion without it hitting the ground. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. So he's getting a high taper on the sides, taper in the back. So look, I botched the footage of the edge up, so I don't really have good edge up footage, so I didn't even include it. So we're going to focus more on the fade technique in this tutorial. I'll work on getting the edge up tutorial for this type of hair texture and type of edge up in a later video, but I really want to I want to use this time to break down how to taper a fro. So one of the first things, we're going to go over a few tidbits and keys. Never panic, right? Tapering a fro is one of those concepts or one of those things that's like, listen, the more patient you are, the more understanding that you won't get the desired look right away, the better off you will be. I think when you try to force it and look for that desired look right away, you kind of panic when you don't see it, and in turn gives you difficulty. So, and then another key point, always start the primary line low. So I still do my primary secondary line method in this video. I just like to keep the primary line lower because sometimes you don't have as much space to work that transition, right? Again, this haircut is mainly transition, making a smooth transition and debulking. So when you want a smooth transition, what you typically want is a larger workspace. Now, you don't always get that, right? Some clients have narrow edge ups. So how do you alleviate or work around that? You stretch the skin, make the workspace larger, or you just debulk really well. Little things like that, right? So achieving the look isn't difficult, but knowing the proper steps, makes it a lot less difficult. So what we're doing now, primary line. What's the primary line? Primary line is the line that I put in with my trimmers right here that separates the hair from the skin, in layman's terms, right? Then I clean off all the hair that's underneath that line. Simple, very, very simple. Then after that, we do a secondary line. Secondary line is the line that separates the light hair from the dark hair. This is what we're doing right now. This is the secondary line. This line is very important because that secondary line right there is the key point of transition. This is where the magic happens, right? This is where the science of this is. I want to make everything above that line and below that line meet right there, but not letting everybody know that it meets right there. This is why we make the primary section, which is what I'm fading in now. So the primary section is right above the primary line. Remember, primary line is the line that separates the skin from hair. Then the secondary section is the hair that's above the secondary line. Rewind that, it'll make sense. Once this clicks for you, you instantly become a better barber. And I'll probably make a dedicated video where I kind of break down the science of that. But for right now, just know the secondary line, primary section, secondary section. Now, what I just did was I faded in the secondary line, the primary line to the primary section, right? Now what I'm doing is I'm debulking the secondary section so that I can fade or blend in the secondary line with the primary section. I know it sounds crazy. I'm going to break it down in another video, but rewind that until it makes sense. If you watch what I'm doing as I say it, it'll make perfect sense. And you'll be like, oh, this guy's a genius, right? Maybe. So yeah, so why do I debulk? Because if I was to try to fade the secondary section right there, that little line you see that's left, it would be so difficult. That's what makes a fro so hard. There's nothing harder than fading thick hair or dense hair. Trying to blend dense hair is the worst, because what happens is you get bulky, choppy lines. You take off more hair than you want to, because your clippers are very powerful and they're taking off too much hair. So what I do is I thin that out, similar as using thinning shears, right? So when I thin the section out and I come back with my fading clippers or my clippers with no guard, what happens is it's a seamless transition. This is my motto. I'm gonna make a shirt. Don't steal my idea. The lighter the area, the easier to fade, right? Simple, because the less dense that hair, the more easy I can get that hair to work with me, or I can manipulate the hair. The art of barbering, right? The art of cutting hair is this: hair manipulation. Anything, think about anything you want to do. You're trying to manipulate that hair to give you a desired look. Whether it's fading. You see how I debulk that section? Then I'll bring it all together. So I'll debulk with the 2, then the 1.5, then the 1. I go down in clippers. And I just work and manipulate the area. You see how it's starting to come together? It's such a smooth process once you learn the art of the process. Okay? Yeah, so yeah, manipulation. Now, right here has a divot. Usually where that where the nape of the neck is, there's an indentation into the scalp or into the skin. And sometimes you gotta, it's like a little valley. I call it the valley, right? And I go between there and I kind of use the corner of my clippers to blend. Now, boom, boom, boom. I'm moving on right here. You see how I debulked? That secondary line is still there, but now it's so light that all I have to do is take my clippers, no guard, and then I bring the 2 places together. Go back and listen to the last 2 minutes of what I just talked about, when I broke down the science of debulking and why I have a primary line, a secondary line, a primary section, secondary section, right? The easier you make things for yourself, the easier they become. I mean, that makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but it makes sense to me. I just let my clippers with no guard do the work. Also, another key point of reference: watch my wrist, watch my handwork. A lot of barbers, young barbers that grow into bad habits, become older barbers, they're very stiff with their wrists, right? You have to be very loose on the clippers. Don't choke your clippers, love your clippers, right? I want a loose wrist. I want to stroke the clippers. I want a nice smooth stroke, not a choppy stroke. The smoother the stroke, the smoother the fade will be. It might not make sense, but it really makes a lot of sense. You have a choppy stroke, you have a choppy fade. I'm gonna let you all watch me. I just gave you so much game, I should have charged you for it. Like, that was really like a $3,000 class I just gave you. I'll be back in a little bit. Look, I thought I was leaving, but it's time for the side taper, so let's get to it. Same concept. Only thing is, be very careful, because you don't want to go too high, especially with a fro, because you run the risk of starting to run into the haircut itself, meaning the bulk of the fade. And we want a smooth transition. Even though it's a high taper, you never want to go too high. I believe it's all about the final look. So I still do my primary and secondary section, but now it's more of, I want to say about a ½ an inch, almost an inch, but same concept, So instead of me talking, I'm gonna let you all watch me. Actually, I dropped the ASMR video on this, so you can go. Yes, I'm gonna leave the link for the ASMR video in the description, so you can check the video out of me doing the same haircut and not talking, because I think it's good to learn both. But yeah, same concept. I want you all to watch my hand movements, please. If you don't take anything from me, well, take it all from me. Take it all, right? I want you all to get better. But look at how I use my hands. Look at how I use my offhand that doesn't have the clippers to stretch the skin. Smooth stroke. I'm talking about probably one of the smoothest strokes in the game. And I'm just tooting my own horn, but seriously though. Y'all watch. I'll be back when it's time to be back. The math is mathing, y'all. The math is mathing. See you later. Oh yeah, I went from 3, 2, 1.5, 1. See you in a little bit. Voila. Tell me that thing ain't crispity, crunchity. All right, so you see what I'm saying though? Start with the art of it. Sorry my hand was in the way, but I hope you learn. Man, share this video. This is one of them ones though. This is one of them ones. I feel like I really gave y'all the do on the do. You feel me? Now, let's talk about edge ups. I should be coming to the edge. I'll be freestyling these, by the way. So here we go. Now, when you're edging a fro, good tip, use the clippers to get the hairs to hang over the edge up, so no matter what angle a person looks at the person's edge up from, there's no hair hanging over, so it looks crisp and clean. Boom. Mind blown. Simple tidbits like that. Use the corner of the clipper, keep the edge up low, go around the ear. Yeah, and just, you don't have to push that edge up on the back of the nape of the neck to make it sharp. Trust me. Calibrate the clippers. What is it called? Zero gap your edges, and nick it in your bag. You feel me? Only reason I'm switching to these clippers, motor strength is not as strong. They're a little sharper because I set them a little higher to equal out for the lack of motor power, and just sharpen up some things. It's just art, man. It's just art. Artistry, you feel me? I'll be back. Y'all get a close up. See you in a little bit. All right, so one of the other important things is after you've edged the client up and you've kind of given that total overall look, go back and do your touches, touch-ups, even things out, smoothing things out. You never know what you've left off until you edge your client up. Go back, look at your haircut through the phone, study it. Oh yeah, I hit this. And take the time to hit those little things, because the little things make the overall masterpiece looks that much better. All right, now it's time for the beard. I'm super excited. Like I'm gonna spend this time talking about a new product I'm developing. I'm coming out with a shave gel, customize it. There's a local chemist that we found. My wife and I, we've gone to talk to him, meeting him. We've been going to the lab. I'll insert a picture here. Boom. Yeah, and honestly, like I'm super excited. So what's gonna make our shave gel different is, for one, we're gonna have agents in it that help with moisture. Sometimes when we shave, what we do is you dry the skin out. So the shave gel it'll be a pre-moisturizer, and then it'll leave the skin moisturized afterwards. I have an agent that's actually very healthy for the skin, so that we can pamper and keep that youthful look in our clients. Because some gels over time, they can cause irritation or drying of the skin, which can cause aging of the skin, right? Dry skin looks like old skin. So we took time out. My wife, we've been developing this for some months now. So I'm super excited to drop this shave gel. And yeah, because it's gonna be good for women too, to shave their legs. Like we're working on something here. It's time. And I didn't want to come out with a cookie cutter product. So we've been working on it, and it's almost time to unleash that thing. I'll do a beard tutorial. I'm actually dropping a few beard tutorials soon, but basically, follow the jawline. Especially if a client wants to, hey, I want to follow my jawline under my neck. Don't go too far behind the back of the jaw right here. Keep it tight to the ear. You all watch. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Like I said, I'm going to do a dedicated shave video. So I just want you watching on this. I feel like I gave you a lot of game today, and I hope I helped a lot. I feel like I did. Let me know in the comments if you learned something from this video. If you didn't, you're going to let me know anyway, because that's what the negative Nancys do. They leave negative Nancy comments. I see them. I ignore them. Y'all have a good day. Be positive. Enjoy. Thank you. Like, subscribe, share. Just have a great day. All right? All right.